What's up, everybody? We are going vertical. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it. I got an email saying like you guys can send like jewels and diamonds. I don't know, some kind of thing that they have trying to make it like TikTok. So let me know if you guys even see that down at the bottom. But go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started with the show, y'all.
Kamala Harris, why is she in my DM? Huh? She stay in my DM. Oh, y'all be thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing. Kamala Harris. She in my DM, bitch.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? What's up, everybody? I see Kiki in the building. I see Teresa in the building. I see Marlon. I see Mary. What's up, Ray? How y'all doing? What's up, everybody? Work as hell? Oh, no. I know it's probably a lot going on right now. Man, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Go ahead, hit that like button. Remember to hit the three dots on top. What's up, Lisa? How you doing? What's up, everybody? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. There's a lot to cover because a lot has happened, and we haven't talked about politics in a while, and we're gonna get right into it. So let's talk about the whole Joe Rogan thing. For those of you who don't know, Joe Rogan had Donald Trump on his show. They did a 3-hour unedited interview. Now, I will say this. Joe Rogan did say he wanted more of a conversation. He wasn't going to hound either candidate and make them answer like tough questions. He said he doesn't have the skill set for that, right? But also, it showed that Donald Trump is not going to... He's just all talk. He's all talk. There's a few things that I wanted to point out. One, Joe Rogan asked him about the whole getting rid of income tax. Now, to be honest, that sounds great to me, getting rid of income tax. But how would you actually do it? What he wants to do, instead of the income tax, the terrorists would then replace that and pay for the income. Listen, the whole conversation about charging China for the tariffs and stuff like that, that's an idea. And the reason why that's an idea is because those tariffs, China doesn't pay that, we pay that. Well, actually, it goes to the businesses buying the product, and then they charge us. And then also, too, with your federal tax, that pays for everything. Yeah, you have state taxes, but some states don't have state taxes. So how you think they get their money? Federal taxes. There's other ways they get it, too. But this is where you get all how we fund infrastructure, the education system. Like, this is literally how we run the government. You can't just get rid of that. The idea sounds nice. However, you can't just get rid of that. Something else, and I thought I had the clip, but I guess I don't have the clip. When he mentioned the ear thing, like he was like, oh yeah, you got shot in your ear. He was like, yep, right here. Yep, got shot in the ear. And like he's showing off his ear, but you couldn't see shit. Oh my God. You couldn't see anything. And I'm all like, what does he do? What is he doing showing his ear? And you can tell Joe Rogan was just going, he was like, oh, okay. It's right there, huh? He couldn't see shit. Straight up made that up. What's up, Melanie? He could not see no nick on his ear because, again, they said it wasn't a bullet. They said it was like the glass from the projector that hit his ear. Because can't no bullet just nick your ear? Like, and especially from the direction it was coming. But I digress, whatever. At this point, it's all like whatever people want to say, what makes them feel good, whatever. But Joe Rogan talks about how the media is unfair to him and how they dog him out. I don't think the media is unfair to Trump. I think he gets what he gets because of the kind of person he is. To be honest, Kamala Harris gets a lot of criticism too. I don't think the media is quote unquote nice to her. They say the lady can't do interviews. She can't answer questions. She can't do this. She can't do that. They're always saying what she can't do. So I think the media is quite fair in retrospect to the coverage that he gets and the coverage that she gets. I think they nail both of them. That's what they're supposed to do. Something else that I found interesting on the show too was that Trump made it seem that, these polls are fake and, these polls don't actually do anything. They're paid for and all this other stuff. I actually agree with him when it comes to these polls. And what I mean by that, because it's going to be a segue, is that you see a lot of these polls saying that, Donald Trump is winning, or it says Kamala Harris is winning. Basically, they're polling like a small group of people. That's why I say I don't pay attention to polls, because they're polling literally a small group of people and they expect you to believe like, okay, based on 250 people and these people come from these subgroups or these demographics, this is how the election is going to go. It's not true. Not at all. It's some bullshit that they make up because, again, remember when I asked you guys, have you ever been polled? Let me ask you guys again. Have any of you ever been polled? Have any of you been polled before? What's up, Jackie? What's up, Ronnie? I remember I asked you guys that, and you guys said, no, you've never been polled before. Like I said, it's some BS that they make up to, say, okay, well, this is how it's going. Because let's be honest, every time they do a poll, it comes out wrong. Now, maybe not the outcome of the winner is wrong all the time, but the polling is never straightforward. Like, okay, this is the polling and this is exactly how it's going to go. It never goes that way. Again, these are people who just poll a certain group of people, because I can poll you guys right now and be all like, who's winning the election, right? I can poll you guys right now. And then I can say, okay, we got 43 people watching right now 49. Who's winning? Take that number, do some calculations, be like, okay, well, based on my polling, this is who I say who's going to win and who's not going to win. It's bullshit. Because, again, is everybody from America here? Where are you guys even registered to vote? Like, yeah. So how would you actually really, really know that? How would you know? You can get a sense of the way things are going and how people are going. How people are voting, but you can't really know for a fact with these polls if they're real or not. And again, this kind of segues to what I want to talk about real quick. So there's this polling site, quote unquote, called Polymarket. And I remember Jank from TYT did this video. He was like, oh, guys, it's not looking good for Kamala Harris. She's losing in all the swing states and blah, blah, blah. But mind you, this Polymarket is a sponsor of TYT, the Young Turks. And now they're doing ads on Twitter. And this is one of the ads right here. It says Trump up 66% to Kamala's 33%, right? But let me explain what Polymarket actually is. It's like a betting website. And they've been saying Trump has been in the lead for the last couple of weeks, right? And they're using, so I don't know how Polymarket gets their data. But even if it said Kamala Harris is up 66%, I would still question that. Especially the way things are divided nowadays, I would question if it said Kamala was up 66% too. Polymarket is a betting site. This guy is a dork. Yeah, this dork right here is fucking your mom, bitch. But anyway, polls are fake. Trump is up more than they are stating. I think a lot of scamming as already happening. And make sure you guys hit that like button. It's the 3 dots on top. See how I casually just... Yo, they be coming for me. I got to. Y'all can't talk to me crazy. Y'all can't talk to me crazy and not expect to get cussed out. I'm sorry. So anyway, back to what I was saying. And so Jank was doing this, oh, guys, it's looking bad for Kamala. And, you know, I told you something was going to happen. And so for the last couple of weeks, they have been saying that, you know, Trump is leading Kamala and he's winning all the states and all this stuff. Now, I will say this, based on the polling, it does say that the swing states are really close. But I think from now on, especially since I would say about 2016, from 2016 to the future in the next 10 years, I see every race being close. And the reason why is because I feel like everybody is in their own corners now. Most people are independent, right? And we all claim to be independent thinkers. But I feel that the country is so divided right now because of the way social media works, the way that national media works. Everything has to be heightened as far as like, okay, I believe in this, you believe in this, and then we clash on ideas. But now we don't just clash on ideas or policies, we clash as people. Because, and we're going to get into the Trump rally and all that stuff in a minute, right? But when we take that into consideration, I think morally, this is where we draw the line, because a lot of Democrats will say, okay, well, you support Trump, so you must be a racist. And then you have the Republicans saying, oh, well, you support Kamala, so you want to murder all the babies and shit like that. So there's nobody meeting in the middle, and it's like one extreme or the other. And at this point, I don't see the country coming together. Now, do I think of this whole civil war thing that everybody is saying happening? No, I don't see a civil war happening. I don't know where that is coming from. That's ignorant. Ain't no civil war happening. But I will say this. I don't think people like being called out on their ignorance. People don't like being called out on their ignorance. And so when they're called out on it, then it gets into this conversation about, oh, you're too woke, or you're too this, or you're too that. And it's all like, I think there's a time period where nobody was held accountable. And people thought it was okay to say certain things or do certain things. And it was never okay. It was never okay. There's been this conversation of, oh, there, in the 90s, there wasn't all this race stuff going on. In the 90s, there weren't all this race stuff going on. So are we saying that Rodney King did not get beat? Are we saying that like police brutality just started in, 2012? When was Trayvon Martin? That's the way people make it seem. Like it started with the whole Black Lives Matter, and then that's when we started talking about race. I don't know. Maybe people live in their own. Again, people live in their own bubbles. So when you don't have to face something, or it's not a reality to you, you can ignore it. Just like with Palestine and Israel, that issue. A lot of people say, oh, this just started on October 7th. No, this started in, what year was it, y'all? Fact check me. 1948? Is that when it started? 1948, right? That has always been an issue. Israel and Palestine, they've always been fighting. There might be a few ceasefires and stuff in between, but it's always been a conflict. That's why I don't believe in holding out your vote. So there's this, not that I didn't know this, but there's like this whole leftist communist movement basically talking about if you vote for Kamala, you support genocide. If you vote for her, you're supporting them funding, blah, 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 blah. I believe you can do two things at the same time. One, you can be highly critical of the government and how they're funding Israel. And then two, you can also think, hey, there's more than one issue going on, and I want to make sure that I'm voting for my best interest. I might not like this, but I'm still going to vote for the candidate who I feel is best for me. And I want to put something into perspective as well, too. Do Palestinians stop their life if something's not going on right in America? And I'm not saying they should, you guys. I'm not saying that. And I'm not trying to degrade what's going on over there. Because, you know, I've been talking about it on my channel. But do you just go, okay, well, there's problems in America, so we should not care about what's going on in our life? And that's stupid. That's ridiculous. And I think it gets into another conversation of like the perfect candidate. Is there ever going to be a perfect nominee or a perfect candidate? No. If you want the perfect nominee or the perfect candidate or the perfect, you know, whatever, then you need to run for government. If you want somebody to be perfect, you need to run for government. We've already seen what Trump has, or heard what Trump has said. He said, well, a few things. During that debate, he said he would have Israel get the job. He would help Israel get the job done, talking about obliterating Gaza. Two, just at the rally, they had all this conversation about Palestine and don't let these people in and all that other stuff. Mind you, this is the same man who had the Muslim ban. Y'all remember the Muslim ban? This is the same man who had the Muslim ban, but he didn't ban the Muslims in Saudi Arabia, which that's where some of the terrorists came from, Saudi Arabia. He didn't ban those Muslims, but it was other Muslims in, you know, other areas. And then more recently, when he said the reason why Palestine and Israel is still an issue is, and I'm paraphrasing this, is because the U.S. is not funding them properly. Even though we do fund all their weapons, like, well, most of their weapons, let me not say all, most of their weapons, even though we do send them money, he's saying we haven't funded them properly, and that's why it's still an issue. So we need to send them more weapons, more, like, I don't understand how these people think, oh, I'm not voting because both of them support genocide and all this other stuff. Well, the other option is Trump. And so what you're telling me is that, and well, not telling me, this is what they're saying. What they're saying is, okay, well, if Trump gets in office, then that will make the Democrats learn their lesson and they'll become better people. The reverse psychology shit is not going to work. That's what they think. If the Democrats lose the House, they don't have the House, the Senate, they don't gain the House, and then they lose the presidency, this will wake everybody up. And then everybody will become more aware of what's going on, and people will be more inapt to make changes. That's not going to work. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Even when telling people not to vote, I don't think that's a smart thing at all. Because besides just the president, your local elections matter. For example, a lot of people will say, oh, I don't vote in California because we already know that it's going to go Democratic, so I don't even waste my time voting. Well, that's nice to know that you don't do that, because the president, more than likely, if you live in a blue state, is going to go to the blue candidate. However, the propositions, usually when it comes to like the propositions and stuff like that, it usually sways more conservative, where you have like these corporate Democrats. And what I mean by that is like the people with all the money, the corporations who, oh yeah, we vote blue, we support this and all that. They're very conservative with their money. And so when you need programs and certain things and vote on these propositions to get certain state funding and stuff like that, a lot of those get shut down because you have the bigger people who want to save their money, and they're like, we're not going to pay all these taxes for all these different programs. Like, we'll get the fuck out of here. But we'll vote for the president, and that makes us good. No, it don't work like that. So it's very important, even if you live in a state that sways blue or red, the propositions, those are the things that you need to think about. The local politics, your mayor, city council, which is supposed to be more bipartisan, even though they do have a party affiliation at most times. But the city council, the judges, those kind of things, you have to think about that. Let me see what you guys are saying. Trump 2024, conservative with your taxes. Only thing I'm unhappy about is how the Biden administration. I missed your comment. What's up, Terry? How you doing? Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Back the mandating for the jobs. Are you talking about the shot? I think that's what you're talking about. The rich are backing Democrats, bruh. What are you talking about? Click, you missed my whole point. I said they're backing the president. I said that, but I said when it comes to the propositions and stuff like that, they vote very conservatively. So again, pay attention to my whole statement. What's up, Keita? What's up, Lady Marie? All right. So back to my point. So with the Palestine issue, CNN, they had got into it. Let me go ahead and play this clip real quick. Where's the clip? Where's my production team? I'm just kidding. I don't make that kind of money to have a production team. Here we go.
Stop doing.
You're called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that
you just say I should die?
You should not.
No,
did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on.
Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope you don't.
let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas.
Guys, let me
I said
stop.
Palestinians.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians
I apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against
Ryan,
me?
That's disgusting. That is completely.
No, I apologize.
That
Good
is
job, CNN.
completely
Let's have first
out
block
of
say the
pocket.
Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
I
up
apologize.
on
I
TV.
apologize.
Don't say then I apologize. You literally.
I thought you said Hamas. I
You didn't think I said Hamas.
Yes,
I
I
said
did.
I supported
Yes,
Palestinian
Yes,
rights.
I did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you
Rudy
hear Hamas.
Giuliani said this yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest to be here
All
to
right.
defend Rudy Giuliani.
I wasn't going to entertain nonsense today, and so at this point,
This is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Here's
2024.
what I will say.
Forget the
Here's what
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't say that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me a-
go?
what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
No,
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let her bring it back.
This is why yesterday's rally was disgusting.
Don't call us
and
Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as a
This is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp
apologize,
handler.
but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even say it
That's
to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
that
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for Republicans.
Are you looking at me?
So he was kicked off the show. That guy was kicked off the show after he said that to Mehdi Hassan. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a political analyst. He's been featured a lot on different shows. He's one of the people, how I came to know of him was that he's been going after third-party voters, the people that I've been talking about who said, oh, they're not voting for either candidate and all this other stuff. Well, he said, hey, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Palestinian, but I'm still voting for Kamala Harris. And now what they were talking about is a Trump rally. Don't worry, we're going to get to it. And so the dude, he was all like, oh, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. Now, at first, I thought he was trying to hint that he was a Sui bomber. Y'all know, like somebody who unalives themselves and explosions go. I'm trying to be in the terms of the guidelines of YouTube. But hopefully y'all get what I'm saying, right? I thought that's what it was. I actually had to look up what the phrase actually meant. No, what actually happened is that Israel, they detonated beepers and cell phones and different electronics. And so what they do is, make those go off, and then it ends up unaliving people. So they're detonating the electronics, and then they set them off, and then they unalive people. So that's why he said, oh, I hope your beeper doesn't go off, because that's what it's been known to do, is some of them have beeper. I know a lot of y'all like a beeper. Ain't that in the night? No, some of them do have beepers. And so it'll go off and explode. So it's not yes, Stephanie, yes, exactly. And so when that guy said that, he knew what he was saying. He knew what he was saying. And then this is also why it's like, okay, you try to say all Trump supporters are not racist and all this other stuff, right? But then it's like when you have people like this, you expect them to be like, hey, I don't get down with that. I don't like that. That's not the language that we use, and blah, 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 blah. But it seemed like nobody will check him or say anything. I'm happy that CNN did check the situation. They ended up kicking the guy off, when they went to commercial break. They issued an apology. They also clarified that Mehdi Hassan, they wanted him to stay on the show, but he decided to leave. But they're not putting out a statement or saying why he decided to leave. And I don't blame him. If somebody said, like, I hope your beeper doesn't go off, knowing that means, oh, I'm going to be unalived, or you're saying that you want me DEAD, I don't want to be here no more. I don't blame him. And that wasn't that's not even a joke to me. That's not something that I would joke about. And it just didn't have to go that far. And I'm happy, and I forgot what the black girl name was, but I'm happy that she checked him as well too, because that was unnecessary and that wasn't called for. And again, I'm not even Palestinian, just like she said she wasn't Puerto Rican. I'm not Palestinian, but I was offended by it. Because if you're going to be on a show where y'all debate, talk about politics, here's my thing. We can debate policy, but my existence as a human being, we can't debate that. There's no debating. My existence as a human being, we're not debating that at all. Policy, we can debate that. But my existence, we can't debate that. And saying that bomb is going to go, nah, I'm not cool with that. So I'm happy that they kicked him off the show, and he won't be welcome back. So there we go. Bunch of crybabies. Okay. Well, tell your mama that. I wanted to go ahead and oh no, I don't have the clip of that. Let's go ahead and get into the whole Trump rally real quick while we talking on the conversation about race. Okay. So the guy, Tony Hinchcliffe, I think that's what his name is, Tony Hinchcliffe or whatever. A lot of people was talking about how, he said Puerto Rico is an island full of trash. Said the thing about, oh yeah, we're the black guy we were carving watermelons. Let me just say something about the black dude that he said, yeah, we were carving watermelons or whatever. At this point, if these Negroes want to go with Trump, they're going to go with Trump. And so this is what you get when you go with Trump. They say you're carving watermelons and shit like that. This is what you get. But back to the point. I'm still a believer that comedy is comedy. And comedy, you should push the envelope. You should push the envelope. I don't want comedy to be censored. But here's the actual issue. The actual issue was that Tony was not funny. The jokes did not land. You can be offensive with your jokes, but if they do not land, then this is where it becomes a problem. And I want to say something too to all the Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. Just like everybody is angry because of those comments, y'all got to go out there and do the work and be just as angry. I'm not saying that I'm not going to say that it wasn't offensive or it wasn't this or it wasn't that. But what I'm telling our Latin brothers and sisters, I see who Latin in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you Latin. But y'all have to, put up the listen. It was nice that J-Lo and Bad Bunny had reposted what Kamala put as far as her plan to help Puerto Rico, which Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, by the way. I know a lot of people think, oh, no, it's not. No, Puerto Rico is the U.S. But they had reposted what Kamala put, her plan to help Puerto Rico and stuff. That was nice, but y'all needed to come out stronger and put out a statement and say, hey, we don't condone that. We don't like that. All that, oh, I don't want to shake the table and, I'm just going to post a nice little comment from Kamala or something like that. No, that's bullshit. You need to be out there, really saying something, putting your best effort, educating people, telling people why it's wrong. Like, y'all need to come out and make a statement. This is the thing about being a Black content creator that I feel like we don't have this conversation. Black content creators, we're not allowed to be non-political. We're not. Even if you are a Black content creator that is non-political or try not to get into politics, at one point you're going to be faced with a challenge and you're going to have to speak on something. And I think that's how it is in life. White people can just be white. White people can go through life just being white and being unaffected by whatever is going on. Black people, you're forced to make a stand or face some kind of adversity or something goes on and it makes you want to say something. Because I would say, and maybe because I'm just an adult now, when I was in middle school and high school, certain things happened as far as racism and stuff like that. But I wasn't vocal because I felt I was in the suburbs. I felt outnumbered and all that other stuff, right? But as an adult, I'm like, oh no, this ain't right. I'm saying something. Even when I try not to talk about politics or something goes on, you just can't help it. It affects you. Everything that happens to you in your life is literally political. It is. When prices increases, the school your kids go to, human rights, reproductive rights, everything is literally political. But going back to my point, when something major happens when it comes to Black people and you're a Black content creator, people either ask you about it, they hound you about it. And one, if you answer, oh, I don't want to get into that, that's not what my channel is about or what my platform is about, you get criticized. Two, when you do speak on something, you get criticized. So either way, you're screwed. Where I feel like we don't expect that from the white content creators. I don't feel like we expect them to give commentary or do this or that. I don't think they get the same. I think the only time when the white content creators get questioned about certain race and political things is like when you pull up an old tweet from 2009 when they were saying some racist shit. Then, when they get caught up in that shit, then they have to, come out and make statements. But they can just live their everyday life. I don't think they get pressured in the same way. And you guys, don't have to agree with me or anything like that. But I don't feel they get pressured in the same way. I don't. I feel they don't. I don't. That's how I feel. TT so true. Why are mods silencing folks? I don't even have a moderator in here right now. I think Stephanie left. Higher standards for some and not for all. Yeah. And so to circle back to my point with the whole J-Lo, Bad Bunny, it was nice that they did those little posts, but they didn't really come out and say anything. Like, they didn't comment like, oh, I was offended or anything like that. I honestly think they don't care. I do want to say Fat Joe. Fat Joe did come out and say something. He posted something on his Instagram. Let me see if I can read it real quick. Shout out to Fat Joe. Even though Fat Joe said he more black than the blacks, but okay. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yeah. Yeah, if you saying ignorant shit, yeah, then you will get timed out. Now, I don't block people, but you do get timed out. Okay. He said he was talking about the Tony guy. The man threw towels at you and blocked financial aid in Hurricane Maria, and you Boris think he's your guy. Wake up. Oh, he's saying Bariqua. Okay, Bariquas think he's your guy. Wake up. So he did put out a statement and say something. But going back to just what's expected of you as a content creator, being a black content creator, it's a lot. Because at the end of the day, even though you might not want to be political, if something happens as far as like some kind of racism or some shit that you see, you're going to want to say something. You don't want to just be quiet. For the most part, when things happen as far as news stories and stuff, like, I don't know if you guys heard, but did y'all hear the story about the black teenager that was followed in Florida? And then it was like 3 white guys following him, asking him what he's doing here, what he was doing here, is he from here, and all this other stuff. I didn't report on that because that shit was triggering to me. It was all over TikTok. So you got, I don't remember the guy's name, but did y'all see that? That shit was like very triggering to me. So I didn't want to report on it because it felt like, now luckily it didn't turn out that way, but it felt like it was going to be another Ahmaud Arbery situation, where y'all seen the video where he was running for his life and then they assassinated him. Y'all seen that because they said, oh, he was breaking into a home. First of all, it was new construction. He wasn't breaking in. It was just wood. It was nothing there for him to steal. But that's what the situation reminded me of. And so it was traumatic. So I didn't want to comment on that. I did, see it on TikTok. I've seen it all over. But I didn't want to talk about that because it was triggering. So there's a lot of stories that I do see. I am aware of what's going on. But for me, I'll be like, I have to pick and choose what I have to talk about just for my own sanity. Because talking about trauma it's devastating. That shit is not easy, talking about trauma. And especially a situation like that could have turned ugly and didn't. I don't even want to talk about the possibility of like, oh, it could have turned this way and this reminded. triggering. I don't like it. Let's talk about something real quick too, while we're on the subject of black. You always see, and this is what I want to talk about too, because we got to call out the Democrats. The reason why the Democrats always make it a big thing about the black voter turnout and stuff like that is because they want to cater to white people. I'm going to just put it out there. They want to cater to white people. What they want to do is if Kamala loses, shout out to Ray, exactly. I'm gonna go to jail. I've never been put in those kind of situations. Well, I'm not gonna say never, not to those extremes, and definitely I'm not pulling out my camera. We just bop, 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 bop. We whooping ass. We ain't doing none of that. Pull out my phone and record. But anyway, moving on. But if you see this poll here, it says now it says male support for Harris. It says 36% white, 53% Latino, 72% black, and these are men, right? And my question is, how come we never talk about the white men? How come we don't call out white men? Like, oh, we need to increase the support for white men. We need to make sure that white men get out there and vote for Kamala. We never talk about the white men part. We always blame it on the black. Oh, look, it's at 72%. These black. And again, I want to talk about, I don't believe that his percentage is going to be that high. I think he might get 15% of the black male vote. I can see a good 15%. But I do not see 72%. And let me tell you why. And I've even said this for my own channel. I was all like, if I got on here and was talking about Kamala ain't black, Kamala's a slut, she's a tramp. Oh, people would love that. People would love that. Like the Dr. Umars who just throw shit out there and say, oh, she's not for black people. She don't believe in reparations. She don't believe in this and that. I would listen. I could make money. I could make some real money. But I don't believe that, so I can't sell it to you. So a lot of these people that you see doing the whole pro-Trump stuff, talking about black men, pro-Trump stuff, and oh, I'm this, I'm that. It's a money grab. Now, am I saying that there's no black conservatives at all? No, that's not what I'm saying. Before Barack Obama, the percentage of black Republicans in the polling has always been between 10 and 12%. When Barack Obama came, that's when, he got most of the black vote. It was historic. Now, what you see is people are like, oh, we felt fooled, we felt bamboozled. And so, honestly, Kamala Harris is getting the backlash from Obama's presidency. Because they're basically saying, we don't want to be fooled again. Now, do I feel that Barack Obama fooled us? No, I don't feel like he fooled us. And here's why. Now, this is going to be controversial. But we're going to put the pressure on the black man to save all of us. But we don't put pressure on the white man to save us. The black candidates who literally have to play it safe, because if they're too pro, because let's be honest about Kamala. If Kamala be all like, oh, we gonna have barbecues at the White House. No, she don't even have to say barbecue. We're going to have a dinner at the White House. They're going to be like, oh, she's trying to throw a cookout or a barbecue. If her policy is too pro, actually, her proposal, her agenda for black men, a lot of people in the comments were like, what about white men? We need to talk about Americans. What about Americans? Why we always got to put rights in it? And her being the black woman or Indian, whatever y'all want to call her. I honestly, at this point, regarding her race, I don't give a damn no more. Y'all can argue amongst yourself. But again, her having those policies and agendas for certain demographics of people look, why is there none for whites? Why is there not? Oh, trust me, there is. You're the majority. Everything is for you. Everything is for you. Let me say that again. Everything is for you. Because a lot of times they like to throw, oh, well, you got DEI and affirmative action. This is why, I'm about to say something controversial. I might lose my channel because I'm going to say something so controversial. But the most dangerous people in America, white women and gay white people. Gay white people and white women are the most dangerous people. I'm going to let y'all marinate that on 30 seconds, and I'll be right back and I'll explain it. But gay white people and white women are the most dangerous people. So here's why I said that. So when you look at DEI, 63% of the leadership from DEI is white women. That means they benefited the most. Affirmative action. Who benefited the most from affirmative action? White women. So they have the option, right? They have the option. And this is why I'm throwing gay in there too, gay white people. Because they have the option to choose what they want to be. They can go like, I might want to be this. I might want to be that. But not realizing that sometimes they will vote against their own interests. They'll vote against things that actually benefit them. DEI, something that benefits them. Affirmative action, something that benefits them. Civil rights, because it throws in religion, sexual orientation, all of that, all the programs that initially started for just for black people, everyone benefited from it. Everyone benefited from it. And so when black people are asking for programs and things that benefit us, we're asking for something that literally benefits just us. Because again, this is when we get thrown into the people of color. Like, people, they can say, people of color. Now, people of color, that might include black people, but necessarily we're not benefiting from that. This is a program for people of color. So literally it can be, let's say 80% Asian, 10% Hispanic. We'll go with, and then we'll say 10% black. Well, the majority might have affected, the majority was all Asian, but then you have the Latinos got 10%, and then you have the black. So it's not fair across the board. So when we say we want specific policies and programs for us, this is why, because you can easily throw everybody in the POC, people of color category, and say, hey, we got this program for people of color, but does that necessarily benefit black people? No, it does not. So this is why. And just like every other group demands, things, programs, policies, Latinos do, Asians do. What I'm about to really mess up y'all head, because a lot of people go like, these blacks trying to get reparations and all this stuff. Well, do you know that not only we have we want reparations, there's also Latinos that have reparations. There's also Asians that have, not reparations, but, reparation bills. There's Asians. Like a lot of people were affected by different programs and policies that hurt them, not allowing them to get houses. Just like, oh, how come there's so many Asian salons, not salons, I'm sorry, Asian hair care stores and Middle Eastern gas stations, liquor stores. Why do they get all this? Well, one of the reasons why they're in the black neighborhoods is because the white neighborhoods, they weren't allowed to be there. So we're going to put you with the black people. And yeah, we'll give you loans for their community, but we ain't going to give you no loans in, over here in Beverly Hills or the Hamptons or whatnot. We're going to give you the loans in those black communities. So that's why you see the way things work out. A lot of people don't know that. They don't know the history of that. Yeah, they weren't allowed to rent, or not rent, but well, that too. But I mean, have businesses or get loans in those areas. They were only allowed in the black areas. Then let's go a little further with the hair. They have a whole monopoly on the hair and stuff like that, where they will only sell to Korean or Chinese hair stores and stuff like that. That's a different conversation for a different day. But again, it's nothing wrong with wanting your own policy or wanting something that benefits you, because at the end of the day, it benefits everybody. As far as growth of, businesses and growth of employment, everything benefits everyone. Just because, okay, this program is for a specific minority or a specific person doesn't mean that it won't benefit everyone. When the economy is stable and it's doing great, it helps everyone at the end of the day. Oh, thank you, Bob Barbie. They roasted me. I'll be looking. I can't see because I have a webcam now. I can't see the comments facing me, so I literally have to look down and read what people are saying. These policies are hurting everybody except immigrants. I'll save immigration for a different day. But I want to. But I will say this: immigrants have nothing to do with us not getting what we deserve. It has nothing to do with that. They literally just don't want to do it. I know a lot of people go like, oh, well, we're giving all this to immigrants, but we can't do this for Americans, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to do it. Even if immigration was not an issue, they would still find some kind of excuse not to help us with food, homelessness, housing. They would find some reason, I promise you. Just like, oh, they're taking your jobs. All the immigrants are coming taking your jobs. I've never not had got a job because of an immigrant. I've never been refused for a job, and then all of a sudden I go back the next day and I see an immigrant took the job that I was supposed to have. Usually an immigrant is taking a job that's low wages or low paying. It's not like they're coming and taking the corporate jobs. The immigrants that are taking those like tech jobs and stuff like that, the government is funding them to come over. Like a lot of people from India, they're funding them to come over to work at these tech jobs instead of giving them to Americans. Now, like I said, that's a different conversation for a different day, but we don't talk about that. We just think of the border. We don't talk about how people can literally fly in. I think a lot of times we think of the border, the border, the border. And the border is an issue. Let's not play ourselves. The border is an issue. But most of the people that are still in the country and stuff like that, their visa either ran out or they flew over here. Not everybody is coming through the border. Let me see what you guys are saying. The immigrants are coming and taking jobs. You clearly did not watch the video of the people of Chicago yelling at the mayor about that. I did watch the video. I did. Not much farmland to be left. We don't need immigrants for farms. The only one benefiting are the rich. Farmer chick. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Another thing is that a lot of these farmers, well, not farmers, but I'll say corporate people, they love the immigrants because, again, I can get cheap labor. They love it. That's the real reason why they don't want to fix it. We don't talk about that, but that's the real reason why they don't want to fix the issue. Someone benefits all the time. Just like with Coviana. I don't want to say the word because I don't want them to flag my video. But just like with Coviana, remember all the politicians who were selling their stocks and bonds and stuff like that? And, buying certain stocks in certain areas in the medical field? That's because they were benefiting and they knew that this was going to be a big thing and it was coming. Dianne Feinstein, who passed away, yeah, she was one of the beneficiaries of selling off her stocks before the market really went down during Coviana. Yeah, a lot of people forget that. And rest in peace to her, but I mean that's true. Oh, y'all, I got kind of sidetracked. I know we were talking about the polling, right? Yeah. We were talking about the polling, and then we got into the whole DEI kind of. Okay. Let's talk about, is it this one? Yeah, Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, he wants Kamala on his show. Now, at this point, I don't think Kamala should do it. I do not think that she should do it. I think she already went on Shannon Sharpe clip, Shay Shay. I don't think she needs to go on any more interviews at this point. Play it safe. Y'all, the election is next week. Can y'all believe that? The election is literally 1 week away. The election is next week. So Joe Rogan says, also for the record, Harris' campaign has not passed on doing the podcast. They offered a date for Tuesday, but I would have had to travel to her, and they only wanted to do an hour. I strongly feel the best way to do it is in the studio in Austin. My sincere wish is to just have a nice conversation and to get to know who she is as a human being. I really hope we can make it happen. No, I don't think she should do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Why should she come to you and she's out there campaigning? She's trying to win an election. They told you what you could do. You could fly to her, do an hour, and that's it. Trump was the one who wanted to, he stayed for the 3 hours or whatever, and he was 4 hours late for his own rally. Kamala got shit to do. Why should she bend to you? And here's the thing. Club Shay Shay would be more of her audience and more of a benefit to her compared to Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan and the people that he had on the show after the Trump interview, they were roasting Kamala, talking about, oh, she wouldn't do it. Oh, she ain't brave and all this other shit. Joe Rogan has a particular demographic. And his demographic, it used to be more independent people. It used to be more independent. It was more like pro-Bernie, Bernie Sanders. It's not that anymore. It's not that anymore. I don't think it would be the best interest of her going to and I hate to say it, but the opposing team or the opposing side trying to garner votes. I don't think a Joe Rogan interview would sway anybody, that particular audience. I don't think it would sway anybody. Let me ask you guys, let's do a 30-second countdown. Should she still try to do the Joe Rogan podcast? Yes or no? 30 seconds. Okay, that one was kind of mixed. I should probably do a poll on that one. Let me see. Let's go here. Yeah, let me do a poll on that. That was kind of mixed right there. Hold on. All right. Excuse me while y'all look at my bald head. This black man loves the Democratic plantation master. Word you well. Well, hopefully I get invited to the DNC. I mean, not DNC, but the inauguration, and I'll make sure to take lots of pictures. All right. Should Kamala Harris still do the interview with Joe Rogan? No. Not that. No. Will Kamala be able to garner votes from doing the Joe Rogan interview? Yes or no? Because that's what it's really about. That would be the only reason why she would do it, is to garner votes. You don't need to get to know her. Y'all don't need to have a conversation. Because who is it swaying? I don't think you can sway his audience to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna love me and they're gonna no. Pretty much they have decided. They have decided. And it kind of speaks to the whole being an undecided voter. I'm undecided on who I'm voting for or whatnot. I think at this point, there's no such thing as being undecided. And this is just my personal opinion. I know people will disagree. But I think at this point, we a week away from the election. If you still spinning in a circle trying to figure out who you're going to vote for, yeah, you a lost cause. I know I shouldn't say that, but that's how I feel. At this point, if you still spinning in a circle trying to figure out who you're going to vote for, you're going to be spinning for the next 7 days, because I feel like at this point, most people have made a decision. I don't think there's any more. I honestly don't feel that there's any more that Trump can do or Kamala can do. I don't feel like there's any more that they can do. I feel like they have done everything that they could do. Some people have already voted early. You know, the numbers in voting early, it's not as big as it was during 2020, during the panorama, but the numbers are pretty high. So with the early voting turnout, at this point, I don't think you can. Let me ask you guys in the chat. What's up, Naughty? She said she voted today. Are you guys solidified in who you're voting for? Yes or no? Are you guys solidified? Or are you still on the fence? Let me know. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, we know. At this point, we know. I don't think, oh, I'm so confused and I still need to think about, I need to gain the policy. Come on now. Like, you really this confused? And this is honestly for everybody. This isn't about Trump or Trump voters or Kamala voters. Like, this is literally for everybody. Like, y'all confused. Like, now, as far as like the other stuff going on, like city council, the propositions and stuff like that, yeah, because I'm still trying to debate on the way I want to vote on that. But as far as the president, I already know that. I already know that. Yeah, you ain't got to tell me nothing. I already know that. Yes, Bombari. We had just spoke about the whole third party thing not too long ago. And I just have a question. Let me ask this, because I know there's some people are like, I'm voting for Jill Stein. I love some Jill Stein. Okay, that's perfect. That's all fine and dandy. And I know a lot of people say Jill Stein is against genocide, right? Okay, I get it. I understand it. But how is she going to do anything from outside the club when she can't even get in the club? How is she going to be able to do anything from outside the club when she can't even get in the club? Are there any representatives from the Green Party in Congress, the Senate? No. She would literally have a deadlocked Congress and Senate. She wouldn't be able to change anything. I don't think you can rule the United States on only executive orders. Because even with executive orders, you still need money from Congress. And again, I'm not saying that Palestine is anything to be played with or it's a joke. What I'm being is serious, because to even have any conversation or try to stop what's going on, it has to be done in a diplomatic way. The whole, oh, I'm throwing away my vote or I'm giving it to Jill Stein because at least she's morally... Listen, there are no moral people in politics. They're all dirty. And yes, I'm including Kamala in that. They're all dirty. They all have dirty hands. Again, there's no such thing as a perfect candidate. That's a concept. Again, I told you guys, if you want the perfect candidate, you run for office. You run for president. You run for Senate. You run for Congress if you want a perfect candidate. You're never going to have a perfect politician ever. There's no such thing. And I know some of y'all love Bernie Sanders, but Bernie Sanders is not perfect either. If he was perfect, he would at least got the nomination for the Democratic Party. Now, I know there's some nuance to that and some things that happen, but again, no such thing as a perfect candidate. That's how I feel. And also how I feel is that I don't think Kamala should worry about the Joe Rogan interview anymore. I think she should just be all like, nah, we're good. Go out there, do your rallies, touch the people, reach the people, get to the people that you need to get to, and make sure that you're doing your job. That's it. As far as taking your time out to fly out to Austin, do a 3-hour interview with him, have a conversation. Those people that are listening and who's in his audience, his fan base, they're not going to care. Is there any Joe Rogan fans in the chat? I would love to hear you guys' opinion on it. Like, if Kamala does that interview, will it change your mind? It's not going to change anybody's mind. Yeah, it's not going to change anybody's mind. That's why I asked you guys the question that I asked you. Would it garner any votes if she did it? Because who cares about, oh, it's going to show that she's more likable and all this other. At this point, I don't have to like somebody to vote for. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I learned that from our Republican friends. Do I think they agree with everything that Trump do? No, I don't. But they realize it's about winning at the end of the day. And it's about the person who I feel is best for me. That's how they feel. They don't care about any of this other stuff. They don't give a damn. I'm going to vote for what's best for me. Okay, and the poll was right. It said no, 78% no, 22% yes. That 22% that said yes lets me know that it's not worth it for her to go. It's not even close. Why do I like Kamala? Is that a legit question? I can answer it. I just want to make sure it's a legit question. What has she done? She's not the president. Oh, the Club Shay Shay interview. I don't know if I had told you guys, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I was all like, I wonder, is Kamala going to continue trying to push for the student loan forgiveness? She said on Club Shay Shay that she's still going to push for that. No, she did not ruin San Francisco. What is currently still ruining San Francisco is all them damn tech people and all those buildings that they sell into all these tech people, thinking that it's going to boost the economy, offering them all these tax credits and stuff like that. That's what's really killing San Francisco. Coming from a Bay Area native. Not the homeless, not the this, not the that. It's the tech people that they offer all these tax cuts to, and now they're getting the hell out of there and going to Austin. That's what's hurting it. That's not true. She didn't kill California. I'm still here. I'm not paying for someone's school bill. Why not? Why don't you? So you don't feel like we should have free education? And trust me, I'm not necessarily for free education for everyone. I'm not necessarily for that. I'm more of like I think community college should be free. If you want the higher education, then yeah, you should pay for that. But I'm one of those people that believe that community college should be free. So again, and with that statement, Lisa, when we say, oh, we shouldn't be sending all this money to Israel and Ukraine and all that stuff, so we would rather send the money to them than to help release some debt for Americans. There's people still here paying for student loans. Leah, that is a lie. Candace did not prove that Kamala wasn't black. She's trying to tie this woman being her actual grandmother and saying that the woman Beryl that she claimed was her grandmother was like the housemaid or like the helper or something. She just calls her grandma. That's what she's trying to prove. That's not true. What's up, Couture Babe? He missed his opportunity to go viral again. Yeah. Trump is campaigning for president only to be able to pardon himself. DNA test and all. I haven't seen her 21andMe. When I see her 21andMe, then that's when I'll be able to disprove that she's black. I'm definitely with healthcare. You know, a lot of people say, oh, we can't afford it. We can't do this. Well, how do the other countries be able to do universal health care? How do they do it? Her dad was mixed. And I'm responding to Deborah. Her dad was mixed. Not Clandis. The most racist blackface in history. Y'all are funny. I love it. That black ass man is her dad. Right, TT. Yeah. That's her. I think I still got a picture of her dad. Listen, all the biracials out there, like, I feel like y'all so confused. Do y'all know how biracials where y'all are? Now, if you want to say that she's not full black, okay, I'll give you that. But you can't say that she's not black. Like, to me, I don't think anybody who looks at Kamala go like, ooh, that's a white woman, or oh, she's Indian. Look, you a biracial. Look, you a biracial. What do you consider yourself? I want to know. Let me know what you consider yourself. That's the black man right there. How many of y'all live in Las Vegas? In Las Vegas, they breed all the biracials there. So they breed them all in Las Vegas. I'm so confused. Okay, you consider yourself both Sicilian and Hispanic. So Kamala, she can't identify as Indian and black? True. His father was mixed and his mother is black. So if you want to say like he's 3/4 or a fifth or whatever, you know. I mean, damn, the last name is Harris. And by the way, Jones, Johnson, Harris, those last names come from the Irish. So yeah, she does have Irish ancestry. That's why a lot of slave owners were of Irish descent. That's why a lot of black people have the Jones and Johnson name. He's Jamaican, and last time I looked, Jamaican. Well, that would be the ethnicity, not necessarily the race. He's Jamaican. Or nationality. I'm sorry, nationality. Ooh, I had it wrong. But even if she's not a black, y'all, is Trump black? Like, that's why I don't get the comparison or the conversation over her race. Are we saying that Trump is black? I just want to know. If we're saying that Trump is black, then yes, Trump is black. Y'all be in here trolling me hard. I love it. Trust me, I do not get offended when y'all be trolling me. Okay, let me go ahead and end the poll. It seemed like pretty much everybody made their decision. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what we're saying. And here's the thing. Y'all want to go by Candace Owens. Oh, she said this, she said that about Kamala. So don't forget, Candace Owens pushes conspiracies. Because she's still talking about the lady over in France, Macron. Is that what his name is? The president over there? His wife was transgender. She's still pushing that. So we're taking Candace's words as truthful. Leah, I've seen the video. Don't worry, I've seen the video. I just know that she's lying. Right, Kiki, it is disgusting. Yes, I'm loyal to the Hindu Indian woman. Yes, if you want to know my allegiance. Yeah. Yes. She's absolutely not lying. And you're not lying, young man. Thank you. Y'all are cracking me up. So are you saying that Judge Joe Brown is lying? Oh, Judge Joe Brown is full of shit. That senile old, like, let him rest. Like, stop interviewing him. Stop interviewing Judge Joe Brown. Seriously. Stop it. Candace is legit. She's the first I heard. Oh my God. Candace doesn't represent Black people as much as the MAGAs want to spin that narrative. Exactly. But here's my thing, Stevie. Let's speak on that real quick. Because I love how, let me take this down. And thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Let me take this down. Because I love how we speak on, or not we, but Candace speaks on Kamala Harris, her race or identity, whatever. But you have Candace that's been preaching for years. Why does race matter? The Southern strategy wasn't real. Racism is not real. But she's worried about this woman's identity. Why are we not having those conversations? Because if race doesn't matter, then who cares what she is? Who cares what she is if race doesn't matter? Why nobody asking Candace about the hypocrisy? Because Kamala is running on identity politics. So are we saying that Republicans don't run on identity politics? Trump didn't have some Muslims up there on stage talking about how he was so great at that Madison Square Garden rally that he had in New York. You said, no, Liam, get your ass up out of here. Now you lying. Now you lying. Fat head. Also, the tip of my dick is too. It's fat as well. Get your bitch ass up out of here, ho. And I was talking to Bro Hugo, not you guys. I was talking to Bro Hugo. Harris, not harass. Okay. We don't follow Candace Owens. The Democrats vetoed reparations. No reparations, no vote. That was in California, and they actually did patent out. Do I like the reparations bill in California? No, I do not like it. But they ended up passing something through. But that was in California. That had nothing to do with Kamala. You mailed in your vote. If you're in Arizona, be careful mailing in your vote. Did y'all hear about the guy, and he's a Republican, burned down the ballot boxes? Yeah, be careful, you guys. They ain't giving out reparations. Cali can't afford. Well, part of the budget that's partially true, Leah. The budget. Gavin Newsom is trying not to pass stuff. Trump has my vote and I'm Mexican. Okay. And again, I know a lot of people are like, how come you let all the Trump people in here and say whatever? Because I honestly don't care. And like I said, I can't see the chat because I'm looking at the webcam. But for the most part, everybody's allowed to have their opinion, you know, as long as it's not being disrespectful. If it's disrespectful, then I'm going to give it back to them. Red wave running out of blue vote. Harris, not harass. Okay. He was not Republican. Stop listening to talking heads. I don't know what we're talking about. Kamala's Indian praise. How much y'all being paid to say this shit? How much y'all being paid? See, that's why I was all like, damn. I should have became whatchamacallit. I should have totally had like a Republican account and like just gave like those talking points and shit like that. I know I'll be making hella money. Damn. I'm gonna do a video about being a Kamala Harris supporter. I'm gonna do a video about it because it's a different it's a different introspective because yeah, you don't get too much love and support. How y'all voting for? Ooh, that's deep right there. Get a backup account. Yeah, I could do that. It's 7 days away. It's too late now for me to even try to do that. Okay. I had dropped the link to see if anybody wanted to come up. I guess not. Y'all just want to harass in the chat. Like I said, I leave it open for people to be able to say whatever, you know. I'll drop it one more time. Oh, I did forget something because I wanted to go back to the whole damn it, what am I trying to say? To the rally. Because a lot of people were paying attention to the Tony guy, but what's his name? Dr. Phil. He was like, yeah, we don't believe in no DEI. And he said all that stuff about DEI. But didn't he get his job from a black woman? Giuliani, who had to give over his apartment or his condo or whatever, his high-rise, because of all the election shit he was spewing. He got on stage and was all like, yeah, we don't want them Palestinians here. And they're raised to hate Jewish people. And he was just off the hook. And then you had Tucker Carlson calling her like Samoan or Malaysian and saying she has a low IQ. So it wasn't just Tony. It was an overall theme. That's what I was trying to say. Overall theme of ignorance and bigotry. So we got to put that out there too as well. What does that have to do with anything? What I'm saying is that a lot of people were just focused on Tony saying that he was a racist or this or that. But the overall theme, everybody was talking about race. Like, it wasn't just him. That was the theme of the whole rally. Degrading Palestinians, talking about, oh, DEI is this and that. Calling the woman Malaysian or Samoan, and she's not that at all. Beta males for Harris. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did Trump say anything and here's the thing, Lisa, and I like you, Lisa, but here's the thing. If they're literally speaking at your rally, you can't say, oh, well, he didn't say that or he doesn't feel that way. They're literally at your rally. Mind you, those speeches and stuff, they have to put that through the prompter and, and you read it and you're reading it off on the prompter. Like Trump, he goes off the prompter, of course, but for the most part, everybody speaking, they go off the prompter. Somebody had to type that and write that in there. And I don't know if you guys know, with Tony, they actually took out some of his jokes because they were too much. Like one of the jokes, he was going to call her a cunt, and they took that out. So they pre-approve a lot of the stuff. It's not like these people are going off the cuffs. It's on the prompter. Just like if I had somebody on my channel spewing shit and then I just ignore it like it don't happen, I might not necessarily agree with it. But if I'm not saying anything, coming out making a statement, then yeah, this is the way I feel, or maybe this would be what I believe. How could a brown woman run the country? Oh, and your name is the greatest racist. Okay, let me get you up out of here real quick. I thought I blocked it. Hold on, y'all. The hell is going on? Okay, there we go. Damn, I was struggling to block the motherfucker. Oh no, I think I did the wrong person. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Damn, I think I might have blocked somebody who actually doesn't deserve it. Oh, damn, let me fix that real quick. Actually, I'll go ahead and end the show right here. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and end the show right here. I want to say thank y'all for all being here. I appreciate everyone, well, for the most part, everybody's opinion. Make sure that you guys are registered to vote. Go out and vote. Do your civic duty. Again, and the election party. The election party is going down on Tuesday. It's probably going to be around 5 o'clock my time, so that'd be 8 o'clock on the East Coast, but 5 o'clock my time. Make sure you guys tune in. We'll be watching, seeing as the votes come in. If Kamala loses, the live stream is canceled. But if she wins, we'll... I'm just being honest. If Kamala, if it's looking like she's losing, we canceling the show midstream. I ain't gonna lie. We canceling the show midstream. But I love y'all. Be safe and see y'all soon. Deuces, everybody. Oh, like, share, subscribe, all that good.